has now been a month since the release of Carrying the Lyre, and to this day, not one propagandist from ApolloHoax.net or the Bad Astronomy forums has addressed the fact that Jay Windley falsely claimed that Ralph Renee was offered money for evidence he supposedly couldn't provide. Among the other issues that they continue to ignore is the fact that Jay Windley misquoted John Walden, and that Phil Plait is yet to address the CIA's proposal to blame Cuba for the death of Mercury 7 astronauts. Shortly after the release of Flag in the Gems, when Jay Windley denied that Spacecraft Films had ever sold their Apollo reels as unedited, he went on to say that my analysis of Apollo 10 footage is the same argument that David Percy makes regarding Alan Shepard's book, and which Ralph Renee makes regarding Michael Collins's book. We already know that Windley lied to us regarding Ralph Renee and Carrying the Fire, and so far, Windley has not retracted his false charges. I need not ask what the argument regarding Alan Shepard's book is. There is a certain Hasselblad photograph taken from Apollo 14. It supposedly shows Alan Shepard's famous golf swing on the moon.
It looked like a slave to me, Al.
Just as Renee found Collins's photos in Carrying the Fire, this anonymous photograph was found by Tom Weller in Moonshot, a book by astronauts Alan Shepard and Dick Slayton. The reticles in the photo confirm that it is a Hasselblad shot, and not simply a freeze frame from the video feed.
Miles and miles and miles!
Throughout all 6 moon landings, only 2 astronauts landed. Yet, as pointed out by Marcus Allen, both astronauts are present in the Hasselblad still. The Hassies were always worn on the astronaut's chest plate, and were never mounted onto a tripod. So who took this photograph?
Smile, you're on candid camera.
Also note that the flag changes position between the still and TV coverage of the supposed simultaneous event.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
The webmasters for Ollis Online were able to uncover that this Apollo 14 photograph was really a composite of many other Hasselblad stills and then passed off as an official Apollo 14 photograph. Curiously, in the newer editions of the same book, this proven composite is not included. Also absent in the newest paperback editions of Carrying the Fire is the Gemini 10 EVA photo that Ralph Renee found. Although deleted in Moonshot, this proven composite reappeared in a recent Zoo Weekly magazine. I only discovered this out of curiosity, as I myself had previously been featured in this magazine when I auditioned for Australian Idol.
He's Arnold, without him life would be...
Because this long-forgotten composite was included in this issue, I immediately contacted the editor for Zoo Weekly to inquire where he got the photograph from. He told me that to the best of his knowledge, it was a NASA picture. On his website, Windley responds, claiming that the Apollo 14 photograph was never purported to be an official one, despite the fact that when it appeared in Moonshot, the caption given clearly purported it to be one. Seemingly, whenever there is a photograph that can be proved beyond a shadow of a doubt to have been doctored, the propagandists deny that it was ever purported to be the real thing, and then try to pin it on those who found the respective images. With this in mind, I have a third photograph that can be added to the list. On the J-type missions of Apollos 15, 16 and 17, a metric camera was mounted onto the service module to take aerial photographs of the lunar surface. On their way back from the moon, the films were retrieved during a trans-Earth EVA. In August 2007, NASA released these images for the first time in 30 years. Why did it take so long to get the pictures released? Apollo 15 image number M0113 reveals what can only be described as a piece of balsa wood duct taped to the outside of the window. Just how a piece of wood ended up getting taped to the outside of the CSM's window is a total mystery. But then you must also wonder why a sheet of glass is in front of the camera in the first place, as the photograph was allegedly taken outside the spacecraft, not inside the cockpit. Given that this is among the most flawed photos ever to come out of NASA's archives, are the propagandists going to totally ignore it as they did with my previous video, or are they simply going to deny that NASA ever purported the image to be the real thing?
Master of the wit and the repartee, his command of space directives is uncanny. How come he's such a genius? Don't ask me. Arnold, Rimmer, he's also a fantastic swimmer, and if you play your cards right, then he just might come round for dinner. He's Arnold, Rimmer, no rhymes left now apart from Wimmer. We hope they fade us out before we get to Schlimmer. Fade out, you stupid glimmer.